Olá a todos, bem-vindos ao meu canal. Welcome to this video, and in this video I want to give an update on my Portuguese. So I was thinking if I would be giving an update on each of the three languages that I am currently acquiring, or if I'm just going to give an update if I have more, if I have significant like changes, or I don't know. But for now, I am giving an update on my Portuguese. So as of this video, as of the making of this video, I will be posting it probably a few weeks after I make this video. So right now, I have 983 hours in Portuguese, and probably by the time this video gets scheduled to be or gets released, I would have over 1,000 hours of immersion, learning, acquisition, whatever, with the language. So what have I been doing to keep the language alive in my life? The most recent was I saw Strange World in Disney. It's a desenho animados. It's a cartoon. And I have never saw the video. Eu nunca vi este filme. And so foi a minha primeira vez. My first time seeing it. So I did enjoy it because I was able to understand, with of course more knowledge of vocabulary, that I did rely on hearing the words and subtitles at the same time. That's to say that aside from the obvious visuals that explains what's happening in the story, I'm also able to actually understand what each character was saying. So that is the first. And then what I found is that because the blessing of Netflix is that we all get a lot of different shows in different languages, in different basically we're like watching the world, like the world is our library. We are not limited. We're not limited to whatever the local channels will give us. So in my case, I wanted to watch the series on Netflix, Lydia Poet. It's an Italian original, and I don't speak Italian. I don't understand Italian, but my uncle does. I should suggest that to him. But anyway, what I did is that each time I find if there is an interesting, let's say, show in a language that's not something that I'm learning, like Russian, French, Portuguese, and it's not in English as well. So I watch that show, and instead of using English subtitles, which normally I do, I watch it in with Portuguese subtitles. So far I've done that with Italian, and with this Italian show. And you might think why I did not use the Portuguese dub. Unfortunately, it's difficult to find European Portuguese dub, unless it's like, for example, in Disney Plus. Most of the time it's always the cartoons or the new movies. Old movies, you get limited dubs and subs. And on Netflix, that's the same. That's the same. A lot of things, if they are available in Portuguese, it would be in the dubs would be in Brazilian Portuguese, and it's not the accent that I'm trying to mimic and I'm trying to learn, which is why at the probably when I get better in Portuguese, I could, for vocabulary's sake, expose myself again to the Brazilian accent. But for now, I want the European accent to really solidify, or really set in. Although I don't know, it's just personal. I think other people could listen to both, and at least I am not that affected. If I do hear things in Brazilian Portuguese, I tend to not mimic that anymore because I've already spent 980 plus hours with European Portuguese, and that is more natural to me right now. So, but anyway, I watched Lydia Poet, original in Italian and subtitle European Portuguese. I was going to watch Money Heist, or the Spanish La Casa de Papel, but Spanish is too similar to Portuguese that I get confused sometimes. But I think I will try it again. I also tried watching Korean films. I'm not into Korean series. I think they're too dragging and too all over the place. But this horror show, I think, was it Psychokinesis or something? I watched it in original Korean, but since I don't understand Korean, I watched it with the Portuguese subtitles. So, of course, it does not help with my listening skills, but at least I'm able to still use the language while watching these shows. And then, aside from movies, I'm currently reading American Gods, Dioses Americanos, on Link. Chapter, I have no idea. But, yes, this is the first book that I am reading in Portuguese that I've never read in English. Given that I've seen some episodes of American Gods years ago, but I'm already at the part that I haven't seen. So right now, everything that I'm reading is all new to me. So I have to understand what's happening based on the words on the pages. And it's easier for me to read now. It's easier, like spending 10 minutes, I've read several pages, and that is a sign of progress, at least. What else? I do revisit old content. I listen to Disney music. I am watching Tarzan on and off. But what makes me, like, what part of Tarzan that I'm watching or I'm listening to is actually the music, because the sound, I mean, the music, the melody of the songs, of course, Phil Collins. But I found that it matches okay, how do you say this? I like the European Portuguese version of the songs, and it's also part of my exposure to Portuguese, revisiting old content. What else? Oh, old content meaning I revisit watching some of Portuguese with Leo's videos, super easy European Portuguese on the Easy Languages YouTube channel. And then the last one is that I try to mimic daily conversations that I would have. I'm still doing that. Like, if I need to, I send messages. I mean, when I speak to my friend who can speak Brazilian Portuguese, I have been, we have been, I mean, every time it's on our phone or through a messaging app, we try to use Portuguese. And because it's easier for us, like, I mean, we played tennis yesterday and I was able to exchange a few words and phrases with her on the fly. Um, but it's still not super natural. Some of the words and phrases I still need to think about. But yes, that is my level, and even if I have accumulated 983 hours, it's still a new language. It's still not a language that I have been speaking for 5, 10 years. So that is expected, but the only thing that I can do is continue using it, continue spending time with it, and so these are the things that I do with Portuguese. Watch foreign films in dubs if available, and subs if not. Um, I'm reading a book. I revisit old content. I have conversations with my friend and listen to music. And I recently started a multilingual like dictionary or whatever notebook on the 3 languages that I'm currently learning. So this is the English, and this is Portuguese, and then I have Russian over here, and then French. So I started this a week ago, or last week. I started this last week, and I just thought that it would be a good source of information that I could come back to later on, like years later, because I do read. I mean, of course, nothing beats reading extensively when it comes to information, knowledge, and retention. But sometimes there are just keywords and phrases that I use every day that I find myself, I should know this every time I need to say something, like if I'm talking with my friend or my tutor, and then I forget. And I realize that all of these things that I say, like for example, things to introduce myself, my name, where I live, where I'm from, my age, these are things that are replicated in any language. Like for example, if I decide, or when I decide to start learning, let's say, probably would learn Icelandic before German, I don't know, but basically, hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, I'm sorry, não me lembro, esquece-me, não me importa, those things, or ya jivu, ya is Philippine, and like these are all going to be replicated with each and every language that I'm going to learn. And I think this is how the YouTube polyglots get so fast when they're learning a new language, because they have their own list of words and phrases and things that they want to say, and then they learn those first. They're not learning the Duolingo style, as in a bird is in the sky or something. I don't know. I don't use Duolingo, but the point is that things that you say about your life, about your introducing yourself, those are things that you will be saying in any language that you want to learn, or even the 5 languages that I already speak growing up. That is one thing in common that I know how to say across all the languages: Filipino, English, Hokkien, Cebuano, Mandarin. So that would be that. Moving forward, it would be easier for me to learn other languages, because I would just use that format and translate it to those other languages, and then I basically have a working vocabulary for things that I want to say. So that is what I'm doing with Portuguese right now, and a bit of explanation on other stuff that I'm doing with Russian and French. So if you enjoyed this video, please like this video or share it, whatever, and I'll see you in the next video.